Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming. Coming off a disappointing loss to Virginia, 28-17. It's a good football team. They're well coached, a class operation, and certainly want to wish Bronco and their team success the rest of the way. I'm really proud of our team, how hard we played. Aggressive. I mean, we had a very aggressive approach. We were going to play to win throughout this football game in all situations, and I felt like our team did that. What I've learned about our football team through the first 3 weeks is we are competitive. Doesn't matter the situation, opponent, we'll compete. We'll do whatever it takes to win in all three phases. We've got a lot of competition going right now on our team for positions, for playing time. The additions we've added to the program have brought a lot of value. So we're in a really good place right now with our health, our depth, and as I mentioned, just the competition for guys working to get on the field. From the game, felt like we got off to a great start. 11 plays, 78-yard drive that took up about 7.5 minutes of the game. And this is the third straight game offensively where we've started with a scoring drive. We had the field goal Norfolk State, the field goal at Virginia Tech, and now this one. And our defense didn't see the field until midway through the first quarter, which when you're talking about play counts in a game, that's one of the big reasons right now why we're keeping that play count down on defense. I felt like we were the better team in the first half. We had the 17-7 lead. We had 224 yards to their 66. Our defense was dominant. They were 0 for 5 on third down. We were getting them off the field, and other than in the first half that long kickoff return, they took 6 plays to go 30 yards and score, and it was Bryce Perkins having to do what Bryce Perkins does to get a touchdown. The real turning point in the game came on the kick. We didn't hit the location, and then we didn't cover it well, and that's what I felt like turned the momentum in the football game. Special teams, Bailey Kate punted really well, 6 punts, 42-yard average. Our coverage has been outstanding on punt team. Nick Rice made all 3 of his kicks, and then he had the really nice kickoff in the second half when we put him in to start the second half. And then the blocked field goal by Keon White was really just tremendous execution by our block team. That's something we've been doing really well through 3 games, just tremendous effort. The majority of blocking a kick comes down to effort, but we covered it this morning. I covered it with Ted, our anatomy of a play, and on that particular play, we got tremendous push from our front 4. Derek Wilder lifted their right guard up, which allowed Keon to get through the gap and get his hand up, and that was certainly a huge play in the football game and something I feel like we can do more of throughout the season if we get that kind of effort. Defensively, 53 total plays. As I mentioned, the drives by the offense and the amount of time we're taking on offense are contributing to us being a very good defense right now. Unlike last year where you'd see the opponent have 80 plays a game, you're seeing now 53 plays for 244 yards against a very explosive offense, an offense that had explosive plays against Pittsburgh. We learned Pittsburgh's a pretty good team, and they just beat Central Florida. And then against Florida State, who just turned around and beat Louisville. So I think Virginia's a very good offensive team, and our guys kept them out of explosive plays. Keon White played his best game. Certainly the move to Bandit really helped us. That allowed us to do more things with Keon coming off the edge in this game. He had 6 tackles, a sack, 3.5 TFLs. I felt like he was the best player on the field Saturday night. In the second half, they started to double team him, whether it was a tight end and tackle or sliding the line to him or trying to get the back to chip off him, which that'll make us better in pass coverage because now you're eating up another guy who would be an eligible receiver. And we'll do some different things with Keon. He's not just going to stay at Bandit into the boundary. We'll move him around. We'll try to get him matched up against different offensive linemen. We're not going to allow teams to scheme him now and always know where he is. Geronda Hall played a phenomenal game at the nickel. One of his primary responsibilities is to set the edge on the run. He did. He had 10 tackles in this game. He had a number of open open field tackles. Lawrence Garner with 9 tackles and a couple really big ones, a huge third down stop that set up that blocked field goal. And then Calvin Bruton for the second game, 7 tackles in this game. He had 8 against Virginia Tech, 7 in this game. We're able to bring him down in the box as that 8th run defender, and he's been playing really good physical football for us. And then Caleb Ford Dement. One of the ways you evaluate a corner is how many times does he get his hands on the ball, and this is the second most pass breakups I've seen. He had 4 in this game, and they were all big. They were balls down the field. He made a huge play in the first half when they went for it on 4th and 2 from their own 48, where they ran a slant route. He broke it up, almost picked it. So he's playing really good football for us. And then overall up front, our front 4 right now is playing really good football. We're rolling guys through there. We're playing as many as 8, 9 guys, and those guys are really setting the standard. They're being unselfish. They're keeping Garner and Young freed up, but they're handling the line of scrimmage right now, which is really good for us. Offensively, it was the tale of 2 halves. We had 34 plays, 244 yards, 17 points in the first half. I thought our quarterback played as good a half of football as you can play. He was 11 for 13 for 179 yards and a touchdown. He had a 10-yard run in the first half. And then in the second half, we really got hurt with field position played a factor. Our average drive start was the 17-yard line in the third quarter, and then the 22-yard line in the fourth quarter. And of the 8 times we had the ball in the second half, 5 of them we were in 3rd and 10 or more in those situations. You just can't be. You can't constantly be 3rd and 10 when you're a run, play action, pass offense like we are, and that really put us in a bad place on offense. Good overall in the pass game, 16 for 26. That was improvement. That was something we worked on in the bye week. We've got to keep building that. We knew it was going to be hard to run against UVA. Pitt couldn't run it against them. Florida State couldn't run it. You take out the sacks, we had 100 yards, but just not enough consistently to win this football game, particularly in the second half. This week's opponent, East Carolina, they're 2-2 overall. They've lost to 2 very good teams on the road, North Carolina State and Navy. We have not beaten East Carolina at this point. We played them twice, 2 very good games, both at their place, so we're looking forward to having this game at home. Their head coach, they've got a new head coach, Mike Houston, who comes from JMU, good football coach. He's trying to put his stamp on the program right now with the things that they're doing. Offensively, Holton Ahlers is a very explosive player. He had a 50-yard TD run against us last year. He's a dual threat guy. He can throw it, he can run it, so we'll really have to do a good job against him. They're averaging nearly 400 yards a game, so they're good on offense. Good skill guys, solid up front. Defensively, they're only allowing 23 points, 354 yards at this point. And Turner and Price, their 2 defensive tackles, are as good as we'll play against this year. Those guys are disruptive. They hit the quarterback. They're really hard to run on. They're fast and physical on defense. And then they're excellent in special teams. They've got arguably one of the best kickers in the country in Jake Verity. He's 9 for 11 on field goals. He hit that game winner against us last year, and they punt the ball well. Young's averaging 41 yards, so they're good on teams. This will be a major challenge for us, but we're excited to be back home. It's been 4 weeks since we've been at home, which seems like an eternity when you're in the season, have that amount of time between home games with the 2 road games and the bye. And there's definitely no place like home, so we're looking forward to being back with our fan base, and I'll gladly take questions.
Bobby, I would imagine they've got a lot of the same personnel at East Carolina as they did last year. How are they different schematically under Houston as opposed to last season?
Yeah, that's a good question, Ed. The number one thing they're trying to do is become more of a run-first team. Last year they were throw it all over the yard team. They had a different quarterback. They threw the ball for 400 yards against Memphis last year, Central Florida, 2 of the best teams in the AAC. And this year what Mike's trying to do is get the run game established and throw off the run. And that's what they're trying to get done right now offensively. And I know eventually Mike will be successful at it. He's been successful everywhere he's been. I'm just hoping he's not successful at it in this game Saturday.
Anything else, Coach?
All right, thank you all for coming. Have a great week. We'll look forward to seeing you Saturday night, 6 o'clock, 12 Monarchs.